brackets replaced. I mean, the glass was replaced.
Yeah.
But not the window itself.
How many years
It's
now?
bad.
They don't open
But
it.
it,
They haven't opened.
it just gradually covers the house, but I get a lot of sun.
I'm guessing there's
all day.
that
Browns.
Oh, I forgot
I
my
got-
book.
I had him come and.
Still
do
mad
it.
at my dad
Wait
for
a
turning
second.
me into a Browns fan.
The thing of it is too,
Did you
Bill,
hear
it's
what
tax
happened today?
deferred.
Yeah, I told these guys, I said, you might want to check Amazon. The fire
A couple
sale
friends
started
of mine
this
that have them
afternoon.
already. They get a check every month from the.
Raiders gonna do the same thing. They're talking about moving Crosby
They
now.
don't have a
They already
bill.
got rid of Adam, which that was
I'm
coming.
glad for that. He,
I got a
No, that ship sailed long time ago.
friend of mine's son sold me the contract, and it was.
I just jump out of the,
Great and everything. And 3 months later.
I
I
just
found
jump
out
out of the
they
frying
paid
pan
3
into
times
the fire, cause
He's
the
like,
Raiders
"What
are probably my second pick,
So
and
I
then
called
maybe
him
the
and said,
Lions.
What'd you do to me, Matt? He said, I'll check it out, Bill. I didn't, he calls me back.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were gonna do this and sold the contract. So I
That they
called the
traded
company.
on Amari Cooper.
I said, what?
And then this
Well,
one
what
guy
we do is
commented
the
and
original
said,
rate.
oh,
I said, no, you
well,
won't.
so now who
You'll
is the Sean
Tear up
Watson
that
not going
contract.
to
I'm
agree
not
to?
doing it. I'll find somebody else
Yeah,
more credible than you guys.
Get on Arbor.
he went to Buffalo.
Buffalo
Called
Bills.
Arbor. Get on there, you can fund it for your gas.
Yeah,
and
they're gonna be,
all that
yeah.
stuff.
I need to do
She
that
won't
thing
be
like,
here. She's
it's going crazy.
But you know, you get old retiree people and stuff, they don't know what to do.
I don't
They
know.
really take
I
advantage.
haven't heard.
Yeah.
They-
They'll
they
probably
cut-
wait till after the bye, I gotta think now.
Tell me when you're ready, dear.
He's been practicing for, this is second week. I think he's got, one more to go before he's cleared.
I
But
am.
there's only two more, after this week, there's only 2 games before the bye.
City Council now be in session. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Evancho.
Here.
Hill. Here. Loffman.
Here.
McMillan. Mauer.
Here.
Wolverton.
Here.
Zaleski.
Here.
Entertain a motion to excuse Councilperson McMillan. Mr. Loffman,
So moved.
Ms. Hill,
I'll second that.
all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's granted. Reading of the minutes. Mr. Wolverton,
I make a motion, we dispense reading minutes and place on file.
Mr. Zaleski,
I'll second that.
all in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And that motion's granted. So we'll go to mayor's report.
It seems like a while since we've done this, but I'm definitely ready to see it happen. Temperatures and weather's changing out there. I gave you the leaf pickup, I think, a couple weeks ago, and it's definitely getting busy out there. It's basically the same schedule we had last year, but it's ongoing as we speak. If they have sticks on the ground, just let us know, and we'll loop down past through there. The letter in front of you, the paper, good bit tonight, so we start out with number 1. Request from engineer. A, authorization to enter an agreement with construction manager at the risk, the Turner Trailhead GGT Extension Project. He told me what that was, and I can't say what it is right
Great
now.
Guernsey Trail.
That's it, thank you.
Mhm.
B, authorization to enter an agreement with the construction manager at risk for the Southgate Parkway Multimodal Improvements Project, which is fancy words for the sidewalks down Southgate Parkway. 2, request from the safety director. A, transfer $25,000 from capital improvement to community development salary. And B, transfer $6,000 from capital improvement to community development pensions PRS. 3, request from the fire department. A, transfer $2,000 from EMS supplies to EMS vehicle maintenance. B, appropriate $7,000 to EMS training. C, permission to enter into contract with Ohio First Responder Grants and apply for the 2025 AFG grant. Turn the page. D, transfer $20,000 from EMS salaries to EMS miscellaneous. And me and the clerk kind of locked up on this, but basically had the two together. E, transfer $31,000 to EMS salaries to EMS miscellaneous. I think it'll all work out in the wash in one sum, and the chief will explain that. 4, request from the police department A, appropriate 2,650 reimbursement check from Law Enforcement Foundation Incorporated to Drug Enforcement. B, appropriate $35 from the Department of Public Safety to Drug Enforcement. 5, request from the Economic Community Development to appropriate $13,340 to Community Development Insurance.
Okay, all those will be referred to the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Council President. I do have these other little sidelines. They're not little, depending on how you look at them, but trick or treat, again, 31st, that's a Thursday, 5:30 to 7 o'clock. There's multiple opportunities out there. Bottom line is you find what suits you and participate and be safe. Dickens, opening November 2nd. Of course, you can see some of the shifts out there on the poles as we speak. Flowers came down and the men are working on fixing some light bulbs up, and we're gonna start putting up some of that stuff. And they took down the banners and stored them away for a while for some of the activities coming forward. The night in the box, I'm not gonna get into Mauer's area, but I think that went really well from the eye test, and we had a gentleman in our church that participated. And I just wanna say thank to all the people that drove attention and worked hard on that event, because that's more of a challenge than you know. And the search for Jeffrey Fulch, I personally wasn't there, but looked like they really worked hard. The only little complaint I might have, I had one, is a lot of stapling to a lot of the trees. I don't know that that was necessary, but I know they wanted to get the word out, so we'll just call it a learning thing and go from there. But I do have one of the banners if anybody hadn't seen what that was. And last but not least, just where I'm at right now, our condolences as a city to the Ladd family. It's a real sad loss there. So anything the council may have, I'll try to answer it.
Any questions for the mayor? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to reports of committees, or communications, my bad.
I have a request from my office for a transfer of funds within my budget.
Mr. Vancho,
Motion to refer to Finance Committee?
Mr. Wolverton,
I'll second that motion.
all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion's granted. Next, please.
I have reports of the monthly report from the city park, the municipal court, and the Cambridge Fire Department.
Mr. Lockman,
Motion to accept all and place on file.
Ms. Hill,
I'll second that motion.
all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion's granted. And then we'll move on to reports of committees.
Report of Finance Committee, October the 7th, we recommend that council authorize the fire department to borrow funds from the general fund for building renovations.
Any questions on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, October the 7th, we recommend that the following transfers and appropriations be approved. Appropriate $4,121.57 to VOCA salaries. Appropriate $67,715 from the unappropriated Northwood Cemetery Endowment Fund to Northwood Cemetery Endowment Expenditure Account. Appropriate $22,944.85 to police equipment. Appropriate $5,000 to police drug enforcement. Appropriate $3,000 to police supplies. Appropriate $7,000 to police miscellaneous. Appropriate $5,000 to police vehicle maintenance. Appropriate $10,000 to police electronics technology. Appropriate $5,000 to police health insurance. Transfer $45,000 from police salaries to health insurance.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, October the 7th, we recommend that council authorizes the administration to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the South 11th Street Sidewalk Improvement Project.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, October the 7th, we recommend that council authorizes the administration to award the design for South 11th Street Sidewalk Improvement Project.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, October the 7th, we recommend that council authorizes the administration to award the design for the Turner Avenue Trailhead and Great Guernsey Trail Extension Project.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of committee as a whole, October the 7th, we recommend that council extend the moratorium on cannabis dispensaries in the city of Cambridge indefinitely.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Okay, we'll move on. Unfinished business, anybody? Okay, we'll go to audience portion. Anybody that's in the audience wishes to speak, come to the microphone, say your name and address, and state your business. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good evening. I'm Ann Klobuchak. Thank you for letting me have a few minutes tonight of your time. For those of you who don't know me, I do live in Cambridge, but I'm the managing editor of the Journal and the Noble County Leader, headquartered in Caldwell. We're a weekly newspaper. I've held this job for 13 years. And before that, I worked at the Jeffersonian here in Cambridge. I have a journalism degree. My staff are professionals, and we've been getting this newspaper out for a long time. You'll notice when you have a chance to look at that newspaper that inside there is a Guernsey News section. We've been growing that section inside of the Journal for 2+ years now, with the plan of eventually being able to break it out to be its own freestanding, independent, weekly newspaper serving Guernsey County. Recently, through serendipity, thank you, I was offered the opportunity to hire an excellent, experienced young woman named Heather Savigny. Many of you probably know her. She has moved from working for Gannett at the Jeffersonian to working with me now. So I was able to move up my timetable, and we are going to have a big party on Thursday night, January 16th at Pritchard Laughlin. You're all invited. And then we will launch the first edition of the weekly Guernsey County News on Monday, January 20th. It will be a weekly newspaper, and for the first year, we will be cautious with our business model. We will publish it in 8 pages, black and white. It will also be available online. We'll have a website, which I will launch in December. Again, I'm waiting until we get a little bit closer. Right now, what I'm doing is meeting with community leaders such as yourselves around here and in other portions of Guernsey County. I'm also looking to partner with businesses and corporations to help sponsor the first couple of months' production of the newspaper, just to give us a safety net. I'll be speaking with the Guernsey County Commissioners, and I've been engaged to speak at a number of civic organizations over the next 2 months. Let me know what questions you have. What I want is to provide you all with what you need, and for you guys to partner with us to get the news, events, a little bit of sports at first, eventually more, out to the people of Guernsey County.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Are you
Any-
curious
any
about?
questions for Ann? Well, this is the best news we've heard in a long time.
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yes.
So in order for our residents to get the newspaper, do they need to go to a website and subscribe to your?
There will be, it will be a subscription-based newspaper. It will cost $55 a year for the paper in print, or I think $40 a year online. If you get a print edition, you automatically get a free online edition too, if you want it. But a lot of people in the older demographic want to hold that newspaper in their hands.
Right.
Even though Wi-Fi is better here than in Noble County, I'm not going all online. Did you have a question, Tom? Okay, yep. You gotta get that ink on your fingers.
So would that be delivered by mail or?
Yes, and in order to be a newspaper of record, I've learned a whole lot here. The Journal's been around for 100 and some years, but this is new. So I've had to learn different things. I've talked to the National Newspaper Association. My organization is a member of the Ohio News Media Association, which is our trade industry. We've got to, in order to be a newspaper of record, meaning a place where you can put legal ads, which we do now in the Journal and in the Guernsey News section in the Journal, we have to be delivered through the U.S. mail. We have to have certain numbers, and we have to be published for 3 years. But the national newspaper people think that once we launch, we either get the county attorney or the city of Cambridge attorney to make a request to the Attorney General asking for the newspaper to be counted as having been here for 3 years as an offshoot of a 100-year-old newspaper. We've also been publishing it inside there here in Guernsey County for 2 years already. So that's part of our plan. Yep. Oh, and we're going to have, we already have local places where you can just buy single copies. The closest one is the Cambridge News and Carryout in the alley between Steubenville and Wheeling. I'm trying to find some of those newspaper boxes. And the people at the ONMA suggested a couple of papers that I can call and see if they have any for sale. And we're going to ask other points of sale, such as Reesbeck's, the Bell Store up the street, other places, if we can sell the paper. We do have it in other places around the county.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ann?
So when's the kickoff again?
It will be, the party will be on Thursday, January 16th, and the first edition freestanding will be on January 20th. Sure.
Okay.
I think I'm going to think of all kinds of things I wish I'd said. We do have a Facebook page where you can go now and check us out. That's about all I can think of. Tom?
Well, I'm sure we'll all be talking with you a lot, so.
Good, good.
He came to see me, and I think this is gonna be awesome to assist like we used to have with our quality of life and our children, our families, and just the everyday walk of life, just like, Jeffrey Foltz's group this last weekend. That would've been nice to have some lead on stuff like that. All the things we do, the Dickens, seeing little kids walking past the duck pond and little Mary that belongs to so-and-so and so-and-so. We've lost some of that fabric of our heart and soul that we all grew up with and enjoyed.
Right.
And I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, everybody knows what we're doing, but,
This is a young horse that's going to
Yeah,
grow
yeah,
and be
yeah.
strong.
when you look at this paper and open it up,
Yeah.
there's a thing in there, years in review, like 50, 40, 30,
Mhm.
20, and 10. My grandmother used to always get that paper anyhow, so, but they reminisce. And once you start addressing our area that way, I just think a lot of people will be drawn to it. and
In,
Get excited.
in my ignorance, years ago, when the woman who used to do that column in the Journal left, and I get motion sick looking at the microfilm. Just an excuse, right? Anyway, I tried to kill that. Oh, man, the outcry. It's the most important thing in the newspaper, aside from the obits. So Rick Booth has already volunteered to do it in this newspaper. Cool. So we haven't started yet, but
And you
soon.
probably already know this, but Jack Cartner was the dude, the guy that got it started years ago. And he's a Cambridge guy, there's fabric with Cambridge and Caldwell on this.
It was owned by Jack Cartner, Tally Evans, and Americo Vergari. Jack Cartner was the last one, and he met with me every Saturday for
I
12
think that's really
years
cool.
to get a business. I got business lessons from him. He was a smart businessman. His daughter Karen is now one of the owners of the newspaper. She's the majority owner. So, yep. All right, thank you so much for welcoming
Thank you,
me.
Ann.
I'm going to also give you business cards you can share, and I will leave a pile of newspapers there for anyone else who wants to have them. We've also sent a complimentary subscription to the city.
Nice.
So, okay? I'm looking forward to seeing you all more.
Thank
Likewise.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to new business. Is there anything under new business? Not, we'll go to ordinances and resolutions.
An ordinance authorizing the fire department to borrow funds from the general fund for building renovations.
Mr. Lockman?
Motion to suspend.
No,
Oh,
no.
We're going to let this go for the first reading. Yeah, okay. That will be placed on the agenda for our next meeting for the second reading. Okay, next, please.
An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Yeah, Mr. Lockman.
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Vancho.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call on suspension, please.
Evancho.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Mr. Mauer,
Motion to pass?
Zaleski.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Loffman.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Okay, that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance extending moratorium on applications for and the approval of zoning reviews and permits, building permits, certificates of occupancy, and other permits and licenses for any building, structure, use, or change of use that would enable the cultivation, processing, distribution, or sale of adult-use cannabis indefinitely in order to allow the city to review applicable state and local laws and to plan for regulations relating to such uses.
Mr. Lockman.
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Wolverton.
Second motion.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Mauer,
Motion to pass?
Trancho,
I'll second the motion to pass.
any discussion? Yes, Mr. Hoffman.
I just want to put into the record that I'd like for our residents to know that this is not a step to suppress the will of the voters. We have been meeting bi-weekly and we will continue to do so. We are trying to establish rules and regulations and make safeguards to protect certain areas around our city. After establishing this plan, after establishing these rules, the plan will be to lift the moratorium.
Anybody else? Okay, roll call, please.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes,
Okay, that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to advertise for bids and enter into contract for South 11th Street Sidewalk Improvement Project.
Mr. Wolverton,
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Mauer,
Second the motion?
roll call on the suspension, please.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
yes,
Trancho,
Motion to pass.
Mr. Wolverton,
Second motion.
excuse me. I said Mr. Zaleski. Sorry about
Second.
that. Okay, any discussion? I'm almost done with this. Okay, roll call, please.
Laufman.
yes,
Evancho.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to award design for South 11th Street Sidewalk Improvement Project.
Mr. Mauer,
Motion to suspend?
Ms. Hill,
Second to suspend.
roll call on the suspension, please.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
motion to pass.
Mr. Wolverton,
Second to pass.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mauer.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes,
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to award design for the Turner Avenue Trailhead and Great Guernsey Trail Extension Project.
Mr. Wolverton,
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Vancho,
Second the motion to suspend.
roll call on the suspension, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Hill,
Motion to pass.
Mr. Mauer,
Second the motion?
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mauer.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
yes,
And that ordinance is declared adopted. We'll move to miscellaneous. And Mr. Vancho,
Yes, Finance Committee will meet next Monday, October 21st at 4:30.
do we have? Jimmy's
Nothing
on
else?
note.
we, are we gonna meet with council as a whole? Have you heard back from,
It was in that email I sent you. No, he's not prepared to have it ready yet.
Okay, anybody else in the miscellaneous? Yes, Miss.
I just wanted
Kessler?
to make mention, the mayor commented about the group that met to take the flowers down on Main Street. I know that you all saw them because you drive Wheeling Avenue to come to council meetings, but our downtown baskets were spectacular this year. I know that the Main Street group has a very dedicated group of volunteers that water those flowers daily, and you could tell.
Yep.
My husband and I traveled back and forth to Columbus to visit our kids, and bar none, ours is the best. And those volunteers need to be thanked because they were just beautiful.
Yep, agreed.
Agreed.
My daughter's one of them. Anybody else? Yeah, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what the Mayor said about the Ladd family. If anybody knows Ed and Dee Ladd, you couldn't ask for a better community-oriented people and just great all-around person and really, really good Christian people. And my hearts go out to the Ladd family and prayers for them.
Anybody else? If not, Mr. Mayor,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
we are adjourned.
I get to go home and eat dinner.
Well, so